Thank you. Good morning, and good Sunday morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Prince Carter Show on the Information Superhighway.
It's all about money. Holding you there, sucking the government with funding, the state. Holding you in college for 4 and 5 years when if the college taught you right, you could be out of there in 2 years. As the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if you start where you want it to end, start there and see how fast the people's minds will grab it. Before you know it, you have attention and you have devotion because you are working with the speed of the new mind that God is creating. And that's why this world is falling. You got people so wise and so wicked. They know how smart the children are, but they intentionally dumb them down. Because if you're too smart, you'll peep the game that's being played. We can't have you too smart, Negro. You'll see the game that we're playing on you, and you'll revolt against us. And we can't have that. So let's put more fluoride in the water. They say it's to protect your teeth from having cavities. Lies. We didn't have fluoride in the water when I was coming up, and we hardly knew what a cavity was. But all your mouths are filled with cavities, and you got fluoridation in all the water. But it's a kind of a chemical that dulls, makes you susceptible. You don't realize that the government is plotting, not your rise and the rise of the American people, but to dumb them to a degree where the few people that control the media and the money can herd you like sheep into directions that are destructive to you, but advantageous to them.
And we're gonna stop right there, man. That's deep there. The Minister Farrakhan. Woo! Folks controlling things. Everybody wants to be in charge of this, that, and the third. The drum major instinct. And we got a serious election coming up on Tuesday, folks. And it's crazy out here. A lot of stuff going on in the community that we're not aware of. A lot of secret meetings and things are being held. We want to talk about this upcoming election this morning. We're going to be talking about some of these propositions that are on the ballot and trying to dissect them and share information and make the best possible choices and decisions. Hats off to all those that have voted. I have slipped the ball. I have not made it to the polls yet, but I'm definitely going in the morning early. Voting is something that we have a responsibility as well as an obligation. This voting process is supposed to help our system operate and function better with choices that we choose of people to sit in various different elected official seats and what have you. I tell you one thing, as I ride through my neighborhoods and I look through my community, I don't see a lot of representation, but we're still voting. And we have to vote. Those are some of the things that we want to talk about this morning. Are you voting for president? A lot of folks are ashamed to say who they're going to vote for. Some people are afraid to say publicly who they're voting for. It's a big secret. I don't get it. I just don't get it. They're talking about how close this race is between Harris and Trump. And that, in my opinion, speaks volumes to where we are as a country. I think that we need to really dissect and look at where we are and where we're headed and how we're going to participate in getting to the levels and the places where we need to be and want to be in life as a people, as a community, and as an individual as a whole. Those are some of the things we want to look at this morning. And I really would like for you to be honest with me and as well as yourself and just share some of your thoughts and views on some of this stuff. We're going to be talking about this morning, as well as how do you feel about the so-called new initiative to pull over speeders on Highway 70. They started, I think it was on yesterday, and they saying they're giving out, they give out over 100 tickets on the first day for speeding. Are you for that? Are you against it? How do you feel about it? Do you think it's overdue? Should they been doing it? Why are they just not starting it? And those are some of the things that I'm just curious to know what other folks think and feel as it relates to the speeding situation issues that we're faced with and plagued with in our community. I do know one thing, and I'll say this: whether you guys know it or not, whether you accept it or not, it affects all of us. And the reason it affects us all, and I tell you, one of the things that's really got me very disappointed about this and the lack of enforcement with these traffic laws, and that is the insurance. It's causing folks' insurance to go up, and the folks that are paying that higher premium aren't the ones out there making these violations and doing these things. So that's something that I really want to talk about this morning. But before I do that, I got to take a quick break because I got to take this call. I got one of my guests on hold here. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to ask you to hold what you got. We'll be back with more of the Prince Carter Show.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
It is time for us to use our power. Please do not beg folks for power. Nobody is going to give it to you. You were born with power.
Some very sad news for all of you and people who love peace all over the world. Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
But the hard truth is that not everyone is sharing in this city's splendor and glory. There are more poor than ever, more families in trouble, more and more people who need help but can't find it.
More and more and more and more people need help and can't find it. Welcome back to the Prince Carter Morning Show on this Sunday, and I do believe that's the world famous Keith Antone. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Too blessed to be stressed, and just trying to get through another day. Woke up this morning a little, frustrated, thinking about the state of my community and this up and coming election, and hearing that the race is so close. It really disturbs me that our country's in a place that the race shouldn't even be that close when you look at the options as it relates to the presidency. You got Harris and Trump. Here's a man who, in my opinion, instructed these people to go to the White House and create a resurrection, as they call it. they had a noose out there talking about hanging folks. 40 people were injured, law enforcement. 5 people were killed. And for anyone in their right frame of mind to consider this man as president, that speaks volumes to our country. I don't care what you say about it, but that's just my opinion. What's your take?
Well, first of all, you to energize your base and constituents on both sides. You can't say, hey, it's going to be a walk in the park, right? Hillary Clinton, if I can take you back a minute, was leading by double digits when she ran against Trump, and we know what the end result was there. So on both sides, it's to your advantage to keep the word out that, hey, this thing is too close to call. We need every vote. We need every vote. When really a lot of the polls are showing just that. It's just too close to be called. And so to energize your base, you want to keep that message out there. So that's just that's just a political strategy that people use in order to get their folks to not stay home and to be active this coming Tuesday. So, yeah, it is always too close to call because on any given election, we know what can and what will happen. Trump is one of one, right? He beat Hillary Clinton. He got beat by Joe Biden, and we know what the end result there ended up with January 6th. And so, yeah, it is too close to call. And I'm hoping that your listeners and viewers will get out and not only get out and show out, but to encourage their friends and family. There was a big political rally yesterday with a lot of the North Side African American elected officials from the city and the county. And
where was this at, Keith? Where was it at?
It was at a church. I forget the name of the church. I did not go. I just know that there's a lot of efforts out there for encouraging people to get out and get out and vote. And I'm encouraged with the early voting numbers across the country. And we will not be deterred. Our history will be made on Tuesday. I am sure that when people get in there, they'll vote with their conscience and their heart and know that the best person is Kamala Harris. And this will be the end of Trump and his foolishness. So many Republicans are coming over to the Democratic side, and that's just the ones that are publicly coming out. A lot of them in his administration, in his past administration, are coming out and saying he's just not fit to be the president. If you notice this time around, his wife was never out on the stump with him. His daughter, his prize, of course, his 2 sons, they're idiots, but, they were out there. But she and her husband know they wanted to stay as far away from him as possible because they know they're not coming out and saying, hey, well, I'm not voting for my father, but they absolutely are staying away as far away as possible. So many people that was with him the first couple of times, they're not with him anymore. And I mean, he's off the hinge. The things that he says and his actions, and I believe, and I told my wife, when this is over, I'm not worried about the election. I'm worried about the day after the election.
That's
or the
what,
day
exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I'm worried about
they've already set the stage with the burning up the mailbox. Come on now, who do you think is burning these boxes up?
Yeah.
I mean, they're setting the stage because deep down inside they really feel and believe that they're not going to win, so they try to create the illusion that it's so close when it's not, and burning up the mailboxes so that, as he does and he's displayed in the past, when he doesn't have his way, he has these temper tantrums and instructs people to go do things like on January 6th. And that's my concern. Yeah. That's my gravest concern. And I think, in my opinion, that our government has failed us by allowing him to get this far based on January 6th alone with nothing else.
Well, I mean, look at all the indictments and all of that. This man clearly should not even have been allowed to be on the ballot.
Period.
Period. And I can tell you this. without hesitation or reservation, there will never, ever, ever be a man like that to be a nominee for the president of the United States. We have seen history. Someone who was, for all intents and purposes, a political newcomer. He never held an office ever.
In life.
Ever. In life. Okay? And the things that he said and done, if it would have been a person of our color, we wouldn't have got nowhere near the White House unless we was taking out the trash.
Exactly.
So all I'm saying is that, you know, he's intimidated people. He's done a lot of things, and he has hit, you know, a segment of our community. You know, those who, you know, in our community, he's got a segment that he has a stronghold on. You know, I seen a guy that said, "Listen, I wouldn't care if he killed somebody. I'd still vote for him." Now that's sick. That's a sick individual. I don't care if he kills somebody. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's a lost mentality there. That's a lost mentality.
Yeah. So you got those people out on the fringe, and he's got a lot of those people out there.
Keith, one of the other things that I've been looking at and noticing here locally, it doesn't, you know, just correct me here if I'm wrong, I don't see a really strong get out the vote presence in our community. I don't see the signage that you normally see during elections and the billboards and so on and so forth. You have a few signs out there, but nothing nearly like what it was once before. And I'm saying that is it important to the local elected officials to try to get their constituents and motivated and riled up to get out the vote? I don't see that being done.
Well, you know, here's the thing. You know, we're into a new era of politicking, right? I know that I'm getting emails from Kamala Harris, wink, wink, right? Hey, this is Kamala, and we need you. I'm getting emails. I'm getting texts. I'm getting a lot of literature on my door. I got something yesterday that has my picture of Michael Butler and Kamala Harris and saying Michael Butler, candidate for mayor, supports Kamala Harris, candidate for president, right?
Exactly.
And so we don't have to have, and you're not going to see a lot of that, especially in the city of St. Louis, because it's a foregone conclusion that, you know, my man who, you know, is going to be the sheriff, or, you know, the primaries are big here in these. Yeah, not the general. The primaries gets a lot of attention because you got so many people on the ballot and woo. So you're not saying that. We don't have to have, you know, these politicians stomping, you know, the way they used to, wear out 2 or 3 pair of shoes, knocking door to door. You know, it's just change. You know, you can, you know, send out, you know, one message to thousands of people with a text message, emails. So people are getting the word out, Prince. It's just not the old school way of, you know, you seeing them having get out the vote rallies or knocking door to door. Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore, is what I'm saying.
Let's look at a couple of the races that I know are definitely important in North St. Louis, and that's this 1st congressional district for Congress. Wesley Bell, the Democratic nominee, but there's opposition from the Republican Party, and I'm hearing people in the community talk about switching over on that race because they're so displeased with Bell's so-called connection with Trump.
Well, that's nothing could be further from the truth. I've worked on every campaign that Wesley has been involved with, except this last one. I didn't work on it, but I'm a strong supporter. He is a very, very good friend. He's in no way, shape, or form, you know, associated with Donald Trump. Okay, that's just a flat out lie. Now, let's say this: I am seeing this. It's a sister out here who's a libertarian. You know,
her name is Riggins. I think it is Riggins. I think.
I've
never heard of her before. Never heard the name.
Me neither. But you know, again, that's the spirit of competition. You know, but we are so heavily Democrat He's gonna be, he's gonna beat the brakes off of her. But but she's out there. She's got a lot of, I see a lot. I'm in the city all the time. I'm in, my profession is real estate, so I'm out in the community all the time, showing houses, selling houses, and I'm seeing a lot of signs out there for her. Where I see a Wesley Bell sign, she's got one of hers put up. So yeah, you're gonna get, she's gonna be like a little gnat, at the picnic. That you can't just, you keep trying to swap at it and it keeps getting away. You can't get rid of it until election day.
What do you think about the chances of the Republican coming in with numbers on that race?
0.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember you told me that. Now, Keith, one of the things I want to talk about is this morning with these propositions, and there's 2 particular propositions that I really think that we need to dissect as best we can, and that started with the proposition 2 about the gambling. I personally don't have a problem with people gambling. I don't like folks trying to tell people what they can and can't do when it comes to their money. So if they choose to gamble their money, they should have a right to do that. However, I don't like the fact that they're once again using the children to get this passed and making these things about they're going to have X amount of money for all the schools in the world, $100 million they're going to generate for the schools. And they told us the same thing with the lottery. They told us the same thing with the gambling from the casinos, from the water to the land. They told us about the marijuana was going to do these things, and we're still closing down schools in our neighborhoods and right. Kicking kids around. I mean, so our children aren't getting any, as far as I'm concerned, aren't getting any of this money. So I'm not going to vote for Proposition 2 for that reason. And I encourage folks to do their homework on it and look at the history of it. That every time they use these kids for that money and to get these propositions passed, they don't come through.
Well, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you, my brother, and that's why I love you, because you've always stood and been an independent thinking man. But I'm going to disagree with you. Mm-hmm. I sent you the article where the mismanagement was happening out there in the special school district. Mm-hmm. Everyone should know, if you're living and breathing here in St. Louis, should know about the debacle with the St. Louis Public School District, right? I respectfully disagree. The money is going there, but when we get it there, we have these boards who are screwing up the funds, who are mismanaging the funds. So the monies do go there from the casinos and from the marijuana. The money is going to
okay, but districts. Keith, when you say the board,
in our neighborhood,
when you say the boards are not, when you say the boards are not doing what they're supposed to, who appoints those boards for the school?
No, they're elected.
By who?
And so
by who?
By the people. By the people.
Okay.
By the people. They are elected. Okay. And so what happens is these people run for these school board positions, and our people put them in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Those are the people that are supposed to be the fiduciary agents over these school districts. And so I'm saying, let's not just fire the superintendent. I'm saying, let's ask the entire board for the special school district and St. Louis Public Schools to resign immediately. Okay? Because you were supposed to be guarding the hen house, right?
The checks and balance. They're supposed to be the checks and balance.
That's exactly right, Prince. So that's what I'm saying.
So if you don't do your job, if you work somewhere, and let's you're a factory worker, and you got to put on so many doors, and if you don't get those doors put on, you're gonna get fired.
That's what I'm saying. So when you say our neighborhood, yeah, and it's a number of reasons why the schools are closing in our neighborhood. We have a declining population. We have people that are leaving St. Louis by the droves. Black people. Now, white folks are moving back. I'm in real estate. I'm telling you what I see.
I see it too. Now you're right. You're absolutely right.
They are moving back, buying these homes for little or nothing, and then putting in some money, and then they got $300,000-$400,000 house. I got a sister that I sold a house on Page Avenue, right across the street from Better Family Life. She bought that house for $25,000. Okay, she put $250,000 into the house. She just had it appraised at $349,000.
Wow.
Okay, I'm just telling you, there's gold in their heels, and I'm seeing it every single day and twice on Sunday. White folks are moving into the city. Black folks are running out there to the county. Okay, so when you have these people, and then when you have the that have or retirees like my wife and I, we live in this in the city, and who are what they call empty nesters. So you get retirees, empty nesters, gays. When we're moving into the city, we don't have kids. So what are they going to do with these buildings? You know, with people with families are moving out. And people who are coming back saying, wait a minute, let me get this thing for $50,000 and put some money into it. So what I'm telling you, there are a number of reasons why the schools are closing and they're selling the school buildings. Okay. But a lot of them, they're trying to convert into condos. And so I'm telling you, I see this every day. Every single day I see folks with families are moving out to the county. Mm-hmm. I have people tell me I want to be anywhere but the city. Mm-hmm. My business is in the city, right at Jefferson and Arsenal. We live in the city by choice, okay? By choice. We love the city. Everything that we do mostly is in the city.
And same here, Keith. And one of the things that I've been noticing when you talk about the infiltration of folks moving back into the communities, I've had several guys come around with cars and try to tell you that they're buying any houses that they can get their hands on. If anybody want to sell,
that's right.
And these are European folks that want to buy up the land and come back into these. And there's so many vacant lots in our community now.
Yeah.
One of the things that I stumbled across and was able to do was to acquire some land around my business. And now I'm in the process of trying to make sure I can take it to the next level and rebuild on this land. To me, it's better to stay in my neighborhood, in my community, opposed to going elsewhere. And it's really economically feasible to stay in the neighborhoods that we're at because everything is going up so high. You better try to use your best dollar where you can, when you can. So I'm saying that we're going to have to, as a people, as a community, look at all these things that are happening right before our eyes, right around us, and figure out ways that we can strategically prepare for the days to come, as well as make today a better day. You know? Yeah.
No. You're absolutely right. And like I said, by choice, my wife and I live in the city. We love the city. And the city. And you're right. I am getting others who are buying up, you know, and not only others, but I probably 75% of my 40 investors I work for are from out of state. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Other folks see the opportunities here in real estate. And I had a friend say, Keith, why you work with so many out of state folk? I said, because the in-state folk don't want to work. Mm-hmm. They're not buying it. I'm working with those that can show me proof of funds or a pre-approval letter. That's who I work for. Okay. I don't care. As long as your money legal and I can prove that you got legal money, that's who I'm working for. And like I said, I have about 40 investors I work for. And I just put out a list of about 15, 20 houses on my Facebook page. And I put it out there for my friends and family and anybody that wants to buy some property in the city. All of them are city houses. Mm-hmm. I got a guy on there that responded, Keith, what do you have in the county? Okay. I said, man, I got access to a lot of houses. But my point being, Prince, the same information I share with my investors, out-of-state investors, I share with my in-state investors. Okay, and so we get these people to come because we got great stock. These are older homes. They're brick. People love that. Man, you can't buy a brick home in New York for under $2 million.
And that's in the hood.
And that's in the hood. Yeah. That part right there.
You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And a lot of our bricks have disappeared over the years. That's why we have all these vacant lots. But if you can find a good brick structure, that's the best way to go. And as a matter of fact, I've been told that there was instructions given to stop tearing down the homes and unless they can not be salvaged. They want to start saving as many of these brick buildings in the city as possible, because a lot of these homes and buildings are historic.
And then the other thing too, Prince, what a lot of your listeners should know is that the city is for people that move back in the city. They have up to $55,000 incentive to help with closing costs and down payment. These are grants. And so, all they got to do is go out on the city's website and look into how they can get some of this money to help them purchase homes in the city. They've got a lot of programs that they're sitting up there that they're having to entice people to buy these homes.
One of the things,
Prince, can you give me 2 minutes? I'm going to call you right back.
Okay.
I'm drop. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to call you right back.
Do that, and call me right back. Okay. This is the Prince Carter Morning Show. We're going to pause for the calls right quick, take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the Prince Carter Show on the Information Super Highway.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
It is time for us to use our power. Please do not beg folks for power. Nobody is going to give it to you. You were born with power.
Some very sad news for all of you and people who love peace all over the world. Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, there's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's below me.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
But the hard truth is that not everyone is sharing in this city's splendor and glory. There are more poor than ever, more families in trouble, more and more people who need help but can't find it.
A struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself.
We believe that all men are created equal, yet many are denied equal treatment.
And so we say to all in this nation who would dare listen to us, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Asian, Latino, that we are brothers and sisters in a long and difficult struggle.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
I think I'm hearing revolution
in the air. Tell me, brother.
Talk to me. Okay, we're back. Welcome back. It's the Prince Carter Show on the Information Super Highway, and I lost Keith. I had him on. He'll be calling back hopefully. But we're just talking about the election this morning and politics and whatever you want to talk about. I didn't know about some of the stuff Keith was telling us about this money with the city and the initiative to bring folks back to the city.
You had them live, so.
And we're live. We're back live. Keith, are you there?
What's going? Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, we're back live. Good morning. I was just sharing with the listening audience. I didn't know about the incentives that you were telling us about as it relates to $5,000 for the down
no,
payment?
sir. No, sir. 50,000, up to 50,000 down payment.
50,000. Oh,
50,000, sir. Let's get this information out right.
Okay, so what is that through St. Louis Development Corporation or something?
Yeah. So you can go to the SLDC website and get all the information. You're exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm going to be looking into that a little bit more myself.
Yes. You should. And like I said, so they've got a lot of incentives. For example, like one of my clients is Slaco, and our company has partnered with them. We have a house. Get this, that the city, with city funds, is putting over $250,000 into this house, but we can only sell it for $170,000.
Wow!
Right. So this, and we got to have a homeowner in it. Can't sell it to an investor. It's got to be somebody that's going to make this a home, right? So we're looking for a first-time home buyer, and they have to meet income guidelines, of course. But what I'm saying is, there's so many programs out there, Prince. I'm gonna have to come back on. I know we're talking about elections, but you're gonna have to bring me back on so that we can talk about all of these different housing opportunities for people to be home owners, right? And we can talk about how easy it is to be a home owner. A lot of people don't realize how easy it is, and that they can get the same property if they buy it themselves and be paying $300 to $600 less a month. And so there's a lot of grants out there that I want to be able to come back and share. I apologize, my pooch is in the back. I want to be able to come back on your show and just do a home buying webinar, right? To where we can educate our people. And I like to bring some stuff by your restaurant and leave it in the restaurant, so when you put them good rib tips in the bag, you put information about how to buy a house in the
Absolutely.
bag.
We need to do more of that. We need to share information. Keith,
Exactly.
one of the things that I get on my family members mostly about when they talk about this sharing stuff on Facebook, and some people got a thing about, oh, you stole that from me. It's the purpose of the information superhighway is to share information, and that's what it's all about, sharing. And we need to share not only information on the internet, but we need to personally find ways to have different workshops where we can work with our people to teach them how to become better people, how to enhance themselves, for lack of better words. And being a homeowner, if you're renting and you become a homeowner, you've enhanced yourself. Because you're not renting anymore. You're now a homeowner. You've enhanced yourself.
Right.
And so those are some of the things that we need to, as a people, as a community, look at. How can we support one another more? What can we do to get information to each other? Just like getting to the polls is so crucial. It's so important that we figure out ways. I'm hearing, and I'm excited about it, and I'm hoping it's true, that a lot of young folks are making it to the polls early. That's what they're telling me.
Yeah. No, it is. And I always say this, Prince. If voting didn't matter, why in the hell do you think they go through the extreme measures that they're going through around this election to keep us from voting? If it didn't matter. Voting does matter. Don't let anybody tell you that voting doesn't matter. Don't let anybody tell you your vote doesn't count. And it ain't going to count anyway. It don't mean nothing. That is negative rhetoric, and we can't have that. We have got to have shows like this that are giving people information to empower our people. Every election matters, national, local, they all matter. Trust and believe. If they didn't matter, why would these millionaires go and become congressmen and senators? Because it's power, okay? It's power, and that's what I tell people. I say these people give up. We are the only ones that go to Congress that when we come out of Congress, we just as broke as when we went in. When others come out of Congress, they are all millionaires. They have big fat pensions. Yes, yeah. We're the only ones that come out. You know, so where she gonna come out? I don't know where she's gonna work. You know, because I don't know what else she can do other than be an activist. When she's done. I guarantee you, she's not a millionaire.
Well, I don't know if she's done. If she chooses to, she can find her way back into serving the community somewhere on some level. There's so much work to be done. There's a place for her. And I haven't never met the sister. I reached out to her about those ARPA funds, unsuccessfully, couldn't communicate with her. I really hope the best for her and anyone else. My thing is,
I do too.
I want to see us all succeed. I don't want to see anybody fail. I don't want to see anybody hurt. I'm the type of person that if I can't help people, I just leave them alone. And I pray for all those that want to do right by our people in our community, that they find their place and find their role and find something to do to aid and assist our people in our community at getting to the next level. And that's my agenda, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm lining up these things. And, you know, a lot of times when you start off, Keith, with no help and no resources, and you got to do a lot of stuff, it's hard building. But if you are determined and if you take this thing serious, you can find ways to help people and to find ways to help people help other people. And that's what it's all about in my eyesight.
Well, you know, and it's another reason why I became a realtor and why I love doing residential sales. I get to make calls like I made this morning to congratulate a mother and daughter on buying their first home. We got an accepted contract. Beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,000 square foot home in Florida. It was just what they wanted. She told me she almost started crying. She said, "Keith, I didn't think they was going to accept that deal." I said, "Well, you never had me as a realtor."
Right.
You know?
And that's another thing with a person like you, Keith. You're going to not just be a realtor. You're going to be a family member to these people, and you're going to make sure that you dot all the I's and cross all the T's and do everything you can to work in their interest because you have integrity.
That's right. And what makes it so, this one feels so good and tastes so good, is not only are they first-time home buyers, but her sister was a first-time home buyer, and I was able to find her sister a home, out there in the county, and she just cried, you know, when I gave her the keys. And so her sister, I know that we're doing something right because we're now getting our friends and family who we help to refer their friends and family. So this will be the second one in this family that I'm able to help find their dream home. So it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding for me.
Keith, one of the things I hear when I listen to your voice and when you talk about this, I can hear that you're very excited about doing something, and that is helping people find the right home, helping people find their dream home. That's everybody can't do that. That's something that everybody can't do. No. And if you can do that and help people, it's going to make you feel good, and it's going to make you more motivated to work even harder to help more people. Because when you saw that tear come from the lady's eyes, you're like, man, we got to get 10 more like this, you know?
That's exactly right. And this buyer, she started with me last summer, and her credit was jacked up, and she needed to get her credit straight, and to where, you know, now she's got a pre-approval of $250,000. That'll buy you a whole lot of home in St. Louis. And so I work with my clients. When people come to me, I work with them. I say, listen, you're not ready yet, but take these steps to get ready, right? Because
a lot of times, Keith, that's the biggest part. Things aren't as bad as people think they are. They just need someone to point them in the right direction. Hey, you know what? You do A, B, and C, and just done deal. You know, and a lot of times it doesn't take a lot. One of the things I found, especially with people dealing with credit, and I didn't know this, hospital bills and doctor bills unpaid affects your credit drastically. And now I'm
Yeah.
being told that they're not supposed to use that on there. And so
That's
many
right.
things.
That's exactly right.
Keith,
And student loans, you know. And so you're exactly right. That's why I say misinformation out there. I want to really, really come on, you know, and spend you know, as much time as you allow to talk about the opportunities for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
let's set it up for next week. We can do that next week, Keith. It's winding down now. It's about time for us to get out of here today. But
Okay.
what we're gonna do, we're gonna set that up for next week. But before we go, I need you to, in your Keith Antone mindset, reiterate how important is it to get out and go and vote on this coming Tuesday if you don't vote before then?
Well, I hope the listeners near and far hear me now and think about it later. It is always critical. It is as serious as life and death, and I really mean that. This is every election is critical, but this one here will put an unhinged, crazy ass lunatic back in power. And if you think that I'm telling you, if you think he didn't want to go last time, if we put him back, it's gonna be, as the old people used to say, it's gonna be hell to tell the captain. We need to vote as if our lives depend on it, because they do. We need to vote because Kamala Harris program where she wants to give, I think it's $10,000, $25,000 for first-time home buyers. $25,000. Imagine getting that and getting money from the city. You ain't gonna have to come out of nothing in your pocket if she's president, and we get these. And so we gonna have, you know, I'd like to say we gonna have every Negro in America that want a house gonna have a house.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They need these homes out here, and we got to build some more homes too, Keith. We got to build some more homes.
Right.
But listen, I appreciate you taking the time this morning, and we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much, Keith Antone.
Let me do this, Prince. Let me do a shameless plug. But it's really, if someone wants more information about what we talked about on the real estate side, let me give out this number: 314-391-0058.
Wait a minute, hold, you're going too fast. Hold, slow down. For the hearing impaired.
314 391
391
0058.
0058. All right.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah,
Keith,
yeah.
as always, we'll see you next week, and thank you so much for your time. God bless.
All right.
Progress is healing the wound that's below me.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
But the hard truth is that not everyone is sharing in this city's splendor and glory. There are more poor than ever, more families in trouble, more and more people who need help.